No snow fell today, which brings the monthly total to a trace. This is 0.9 inches below the normal amount of 0.9 inches for April. The total snowfall since July 1st still stands at 5.1 inches, which is 20.5 inches below normal. There were 9 heating degree days today, which is 3 below normal. This brings the monthly total to 377, which is 79 above normal. The yearly total since July 1st is 5,151, which is 447 below normal. There were no cooling degree days today, which is normal. This leaves the monthly total at 4, which is 4 above normal. The yearly total since January 1st is 4, which is 2 above normal. Today the maximum wind observed was 24 miles an hour from the south. The highest wind gust observed was 34 miles per hour from the southeast. The normal high temperature for tomorrow is 66 degrees, and the normal low is 41. The record high for tomorrow is 92, which occurred in 1989, and the record low is 24, which occurred in 1978. Sunset tonight is at 8:12 p.m. Sunrise tomorrow is at 6:39 a.m. This hazardous weather outlook is for portions of southwest Iowa, west central Iowa, east central Nebraska, northeast Nebraska, and southeast Nebraska. For tonight and Thursday, very high fire danger will be present across portions of eastern Nebraska Thursday afternoon. And now the extended outlook for the period Thursday night through Wednesday. Very high fire danger will continue across mainly eastern Nebraska Friday. Scattered thunderstorms should return to the region Thursday night. A couple of these storms may produce large hail in southeast Nebraska. Additional severe thunderstorm activity is possible Friday afternoon into Friday night, mainly in northeast Nebraska, and then again Saturday afternoon as a frontal boundary moves into the region. Strong southerly winds are expected Friday afternoon into Saturday. The potential exists for peak wind gusts in the 40 to 60 miles per hour range. These winds will make for difficult travel conditions for high-profile vehicles, especially along Interstate 80. Tree damage or isolated power outages may also occur. Spotter information statement: spotter activation will not be needed through Thursday. This is NOAA All Hazards Radio Station WXM20 in Lincoln, Nebraska. The current time is 7:04 p.m. Central Daylight Time. Now for the official National Weather Service forecast for the Lincoln area. Tonight, mostly clear. Lows around 40. Northeast winds 5 to 10 miles an hour. Becoming southeast.
Alrighty, guys, what is going on, you all? Hope you guys are having a wonderful Wednesday night here. We're going to be getting right on into it here in 1 second. Let's go ahead and see Matt's already in there. What's up, Matt? Hope you're doing good, man. Glad to see you here once again. It's happy 420. You too, buddy. Glad to see you here again. Let's go ahead and see here. Christiana, I think I said your name right this time. Hey there from Boring, Ohio. What's up? Hope you're doing good. Glad to see you here. I'm just south of you. I'm here in Kentucky right now. So let's go see Lua says hi. What's up, Lua? Hope you're doing good. Glad to see all of you guys here for tonight. So we got some new information coming in here from the models. We actually do have some mid-range model support now in regard to what is expected to happen here down the line, and we are expected to see some pretty nasty weather kick off here, so we are going to be touching everything on the subject. We're also going to be taking a look at the warnings, the active hazards that are currently going on across the nation. As I was just looking at a minute ago, we have a lot of activity that's actually going on there across the region. So we're going to dive into that. We actually are monitoring a potential winter storm as well. We do have some winter storm watches that are in effect. Like I said, we're going to discuss that here in one moment. But anyways, guys, what's up, Toby? Hope you're doing good, man. Glad to see you back here again. That goes to all of you guys out there. Hope you guys are having a wonderful Wednesday night here. So, I'll tell you what, we're going to go ahead and switch on over here to the models. We have a bit to talk about here. Actually, we'll go ahead and switch on here to Storm Prediction Center here for a second. Brandy says hello from St. Louis, Missouri. What's up, Brandy? Hope you're doing good. Glad to see you here. Hope you guys are staying safe here. So let's see. Hey, Andrew. Good evening from Fort Wayne. What's up? Hope you're doing good. Glad to see you here. Hope every one of y'all is having a wonderful wonderful day. So, I'll tell you what, we're going to go ahead and switch on here to the main screen in regard to what is going on. I forgot to update this. I need to fix that, or just completely get rid of it here, because, yeah, it's a bit outdated here. So let me go ahead and wait for this. My computer's being absolutely ridiculously slow. So sorry about that. If you notice any differences in the live stream here. Let's go ahead and see here. Stormy, what's up, Stormy? Hope you're doing good. Glad to see you here. Hope you're doing all right here. Let's go and see here. I made it to live bacon lemon cake. Ooh, that sounds good. But I have the earbuds on. Hope everyone's good. You too, Stormy. Glad to have you here. And apparently my streaming software does not want me to fix this. Anyways, we have a bit to talk about here. We're just gonna ignore that here for now. Whenever my computer decides it actually wants to work, then we're going to go ahead and get rid of that scroll wheel. It's a little bit out of date. I forgot to change it. I'm always very bad at that. I'm very, very bad at that here. And something I should also probably do is get the pin up here. Honestly, probably should have launched that a little bit before here. But anyways, guys, like I said, I hope you guys are having a great night so far. Oh, I think it'll let me do it now. Okay, there we go. We are good. I go ahead and clear that, get it out of the way. Let's go ahead and see. Let's go ahead and see here. Get storms Friday and Saturday. Stay safe. Stay safe here, Grace. Thank you and God bless from Oklahoma. Hope you're doing good. Glad to see you here. Hope all of you guys are doing all right here. Just slapped together some tacos. Anyone want any? That does sound pretty good. Honestly, I might take one. So let's see. I got a slight risk, says Matt. Well, obviously, Matt, we're going to discuss that here right now. So, we're taking a look here at the Day 1 Convective Outlook. This is your thunderstorm forecast here for today. We do have a little bit of activity that is going on, but I tell you what, today is not going to be the greatest day of severe weather. We are expecting it to get a bit worse in regard to what we are seeing here now. So, we have 3 different shades you might notice. We have a light green, a dark green, and a yellow. If you guys are new to or if you guys have been to the channel here before, you probably know exactly what we're talking about here, but for those new people out there, basically what this is showing here is the light green is showing that some thunderstorms could be possible here as far west as the western Ohio Valley into western Ohio itself. Actually see the possibility of some thunderstorms. Like I said, not expected to be severe though. Far north as southern portion of Minnesota here. In regard to things. So that is what we are looking at. Toby says, I have a friend in Oklahoma. I'm trying to keep them updated as much as I can. Well, that's good, Toby. I'm glad to see that you're doing that. What will the storms look like on Friday and Saturday, says Grace. We're going to get to that or here in 1 second, Grace. Today, we're just taking a look at today being Wednesday. Then we'll go into Friday. I do believe Friday is going to be pretty nasty in regard to things. We're going to be discussing that here in a second. So, like I said, these light green areas basically shows that some thunderstorms might be possible here, but they're not expected to be severe. However, the severe side of things does start here with the dark green. There is a scale from 1 to 5, 5 being the absolute worst potential, the highest probability of seeing severe weather, and 1 being the lowest potential. Lowest probability of severe weather here, and we have both severe threat level 1 and 2 out of 5. So the beginning of the severe spectrum here basically starts across the dark green. This does include bits of southwestern Illinois, the central and southern portion here of bits of Missouri, southeastern Kansas. You notice that there is actually a slight risk. This is severe threat level 2 out of 5. We'll get to that more here in a second. Then we also, this marginal severe threat level 1 out of 5 also does include bits of northwestern Missouri here. Northwestern Arkansas here. I already talked about Missouri. So for the central and southern portion of Missouri, that is a marginal risk here. So then you might notice, like I was talking about, we have a second shade that's going on here. We have a severe threat level 2 out of 5. In effect here across the yellow, across the eastern portion of Oklahoma. I do believe that Matt is inside of this severe threat level 2 out of 5. So stay safe, Matt. And if you have anything to report, like I said, if you guys do want to report anything regarding severe weather-wise, we have our Twitter above my head here, just above the radar view and everything like that, at NWW162 on Twitter. If you guys do want to take a look at that. Let's go and see here. Cap seems to be holding it right now, says Danger, or Matt here. We'll look at that here in a second. Other Matt says, hello and good evening, Aaron. Hope you're doing good. Glad to see you here back again, man. Hope you're staying safe, and I hope you're having a wonderful Wednesday night. So, we're going to go ahead and break this down. So, we are breaking it down into 3 subcategories. We're talking about, tornadoes potential, large hail potential, and damaging wind potential. So, we're going to go ahead and start off with the hail potential. We do have a 15% significant chance here at the worst of seeing hail. So if you guys are highlighted across any of these areas here, you have the chance for some hail, and basically a 5% chance here across the brown. This is included in some of those marginal risks that we did see from southwestern Illinois into eastern portion here of Kansas. So this is what we are looking at here. This is our 5%, our absolute lowest probability of seeing hail, basically the size of a quarter, maybe about the size of an inch being possible here. Now, just a little bit to the southwest of this 5% risk here, we do have a large 15% chance here. Now, you might notice that there is actually two areas going on here. We have a non-black, netted side of this side of this outlook here, and a netted side. So basically the non-netted side right here, I'm going to go ahead and draw in a different color so that you guys can actually see exactly where I'm talking about here. So in this area right here, you can barely see it, but it's a very small little crescent there. This is the area we are expecting the 15% chance of seeing hail, maybe to size up to a quarter as well. But like I said, this is a higher probability clocked in at a 15% chance. Now, there is something that is significant. Literally, there's something that's interesting about this outlook here, is the fact that right here we have our netted area I was talking about here. So you might notice it's still yellow, indicating it's still a 15% chance here. But what this is actually telling us is that, hey, we have the potential we could see some hail over 1 inch in diameter and greater, basically up to size of 2 inches and higher. That's actually pretty large hail, and that is about the size of a ping pong ball size hail. Maybe some instances could get higher than that, which basically just showing you, hey, severe hail is going to be a very large concern across the areas here. This does include, I do believe this does include Oklahoma City, if I'm not mistaken here. Yeah, I do believe it does include Oklahoma City as well as Tulsa. Tulsa does look to be inside of this here as well. So this is what we are looking at here. This is our greatest chance here. If you are across any of these shades, you have the chance here of seeing hail here for today. Now, in regard to damaging winds, we do have a 15% chance here as well. The marginal does stretch its way further to the west here, so it's mostly just a hail threat across the areas here in eastern side of Missouri into southern portion here of Illinois. Now, damaging winds is not going to be as much of a threat here, but, cross bits of Oklahoma still, this is where we have our greatest potential here. A 15% chance we could see damaging winds in excess of 60 miles per hour or more. Basically, like I said before, this is not sustained winds. This is basically just showing you that maybe some, damaging wind gusts, what could, get up to is maybe up and over 50 miles per hour. So that is kind of what we are seeing here in regard to things here. But yeah, that is what we're looking at. That is basically what we are looking at. So a 15% chance here and a 5% chance basically for the same thing, just a different probability spectrum. And then we move into the tornadoes. Before we do that, I want to go ahead and say here, I do have a few comments coming on here. I am on the edge all 4 days, says Sewing. Well, obviously, stay safe. Devin says, hey, everyone. What's up, Devin? Hope you're doing good. Brandy says, hi. What's up, Brandy? Hope you're doing good. Rotten Reaper says, when is this supposed to start? Got here. So we are expecting this to kick off here later on tonight. We do have a threat here for tonight. We do have another for tomorrow, and actually for Friday, it's going to be the big day, so we got to stay tuned for that. But obviously, welcome. Hope you're doing good, man. Glad to see you back here again. So yeah, when's it supposed to start? Basically, it's supposed to start tonight, and it's going to last into the next few days. And the worst of it is going to be here on, basically on Friday here. So that is what we are looking at here. How about the weather for Georgia? So, Jonathan, right now, I don't think that there's anything going on for Georgia in regard to the severe side of things. Most of this event is just here clocked in across the central United States here. These are the areas here we've got to monitor over the next few days, but I do not believe Georgia is in the risk. We'll get to that more here in 1 second. So, now we're moving on to tornadoes. Now we're going to see what we are expecting in regard to the tornado side here for today. Now, believe it or not, we do have a chance for tornadoes here. We actually do have a pretty small confined threat here, but it's actually, there's actually two different threat levels here of tornadoes. So we have an overall chance here. Our overall chance here of tornadoes is mostly isolated across eastern and central portion here of Oklahoma. Kind of the greatest area here we could see maybe some tornadoes for today. Now across the green, the dark green, this does include, I do believe this does include Tulsa. No, Tulsa is actually in the 5%. So there's a 2% chance here. Basically, it basically looks what it shows. 2% chance you could have a tornado within 25 miles of the dark green here. And then you have an updated threat, a little bit higher of a percentage here, where we are expecting the greatest potential that we could see some tornadoes across the brown here. This is across the eastern portion here of Oklahoma. So this is a 5% chance that we could see maybe some tornadoes across the region here. Like I said, this does include Tulsa. So we got to watch out for this here over the next little bit. So that is what we are looking at here. Thursday in Missouri, says Brandy. So this is for Wednesday. So now we're going to move it into Thursday, and I'll be able to tell you that right now, Brandy. So we're going to go ahead and switch here to the day 2 convective outlook here. This is our tomorrow's outlook, and look at this. We do have an even larger threat here for severe weather across bits of Oklahoma as far south and as far north as basically northern portion here of Iowa, being here inside of the severe threat. And like I said, this is for tomorrow being Thursday. So, like I said, we still have 3 shades, but they are much larger in the fact of things here. We do have our generalized thunderstorm risk as far east here as eastern Kentucky. This does include bits of Ohio as well. You know, it just goes far north here as North Dakota. So we are seeing the possibility of overall thunderstorms being existent across these regions here. There's another generalized thunderstorm across the western side of the coast, but you can barely see it here. But our main threat is right here. Like I said, you know, across the dark green and onward, this is our severe threat area. These are the areas here we got to monitor for severe weather here for tomorrow. In regard to all types, I do believe is going to be a concern here. So that is what we are seeing here. That is what you're looking at. Patrick says huge outbreak potential, but the National Weather Service is only saying slight risk. They're doing that to be safe right now, and actually it's the Storm Prediction Center that does that. But in regard to things, yeah, I mean, honestly, between the models, there's a lot of instability. There's a lot of wind shear. You know, that surface, 3-kilometer wind shear is actually looking pretty strong. Storm relative helicity is actually, we're talking over 400. That's pretty crazy with some of these soundings we've been monitoring here. I do believe that tornadoes will be a concern, and I am very, very confident that this will be upgraded here to at least an enhanced risk by the time we do get down. But obviously, I don't work for the Storm Prediction Center. I cannot tell you exactly, but I can tell you that this is going to be a pretty significant event. And yes, I do believe that they will update this as we do track down here in time. So like I said, across the dark green and the yellow, this is the greatest area here. We are expecting severe weather to kick off here. So across bits of northern Missouri, I forgot who said that. Brandy said that in Thursday in Missouri. So this is for Thursday. Across the northern side here, basically just northwest of St. Louis. West of St. Louis, just north of Springfield, I believe. Or north of Joplin. Yeah, just north of there, we do have our risk here. This does include bits of Iowa as well. The central and southern portion, this does include Des Moines area, I believe so as well. Across the eastern side of Nebraska, like I said, the greatest threat does seem to be kind of across bits of Kansas here. We are going to start to see a lot of this warm air driving its way up here from the Gulf of Mexico here, starting really right now. Really starting to kick off some things here. And it's going to shoot as far north as southern portions here of, I believe, southern portions here of South Dakota. We're going to take a look at the models here in a second. We'll take a look at the latest trends in regard to things. So, like I said before, guys, you know, this works on a scale from 1 to 5, 1 being the lowest potential, lowest severity, and 5 being the highest potential, highest severity. Now, we have 2 different levels here. We have 1 and 2 out of 5. 1 across the dark green. This is our lowest threat, but it is still a threat for severe weather and something we should definitely watch out for. And then we do have a severe threat level 2 out of 5. Across the slight risk, this does include a small portion here of north central Oklahoma into the central and eastern side here of Kansas, and a small portion of southeastern portion of Nebraska. So this is what we are looking at. These are our overall severe threats here for tomorrow. Now, in regard to hail, there is another 15% significant chance here. Basically, pretty similar to today's outlook in regard to the level of intensity. However, this does cover a much larger area here, which can actually be a concern here. So that is what we are looking at in regard to things. So, like I said, you know, the overall threat here for hail does exist here across central portion here of bits of Iowa. This does include the Des Moines area here. Into basically extreme northeastern panhandle or the eastern panhandle here of Texas. This does include bits of that. Now, our greatest chances is obviously right here across the yellow with a 15% chance we could see some hail here across the region. 15% chance we could see some hail, basically 1 inch in diameter or greater across the normal yellow shaded color here. But like I said, we have our netted significant risk here across bits of the north central portion here of Oklahoma into the central and southern, south central portion here of Kansas. This is our greatest threat here for hail for tomorrow. This is showing a 15% chance we could see some hail events in excess of 2 inches in diameter here as well. So that's kind of what we are looking at. Now, in regard to damaging winds, we have a pretty low probability here for today. It's actually a bit lower than it is for today. We have just a low 5% chance here we could see some damaging winds. Nothing too crazy. However, it is still a probability. There is still a chance we could see some damaging winds here across the area selected, across the Midwest into the central portion of the United States, and now across the tornado threat. Now, we do have another 5% chance here across here for tomorrow. It's actually a little bit larger than it is here for today, but this is what we are looking at here. This is our overall tornado threat. It does kind of look like a little bit of a ping pong ball or ping pong, paddle there. We have our little paddle going on here. Far down south is eastern portion here of the panhandle of Texas, and as far north as north central Kansas here. The greatest threat is obviously across the 5%. It looks just like exactly what it shows here. 5% chance of a tornado across, every single 25 miles inside of the brown here, and a 2% chance, a little bit lower probability, but it is still a potential of a few isolated tornadoes being possible across the dark green. So that is our threat here for tomorrow in regard to things. We have our overall slight risk. We're going to continue watching this. So now we move into Friday, okay? So Friday is the big day I am monitoring here. Look at this. We have a large slight risk in effect. Like I said, I would not be surprised if this does, actually does, get an upgrade here. We'll see what happens here. Obviously, like I said, I don't work for the Storm Prediction Center, but I will be able to tell you based off of models and everything like I've been talking about. Obviously, I do believe that will be a concern here. So let's go and see. Obviously, I have a few questions coming on here. Like I said, guys, hope you all are doing good. Glad to see all of you guys here. We'll move into Illinois on Sunday. So we'll talk about that here in a second here, Rail. Devin says, do I remember 2 high risk we had both in 2021? Both were in March. I do remember that. I believe I streamed that as well. This is like one of the first times I actually streamed a live weather event. I don't think it's on my channel anymore. But yeah, that is what we are looking at here. Brandy says, does this move east or northeast tomorrow? So we'll discuss that more in the models. It's mostly going to move its way here to the north, it looks like. Mostly northward, northeastward here. But we'll get more into that here in a second here. Let's go see. James says, I just noticed that you cut your hair. Yep, I did. In for a 20th threat says, sewing. Tomorrow will be fun. We'll obviously stay safe. Like I said, I'm going to be here for you guys. I got you all covered. I'm probably going to be live here. I know I'm going to be live here on Friday. I'm not sure exactly about tomorrow, but we'll see what happens. Like I said, I do expect to be live here on Friday in regard to things. Grace says, I'm in Brooklyn Park here, Minnesota. Can't tell you exactly where that's at, but I do know where Minnesota is, and the central and southern portion of Minnesota does have a threat here for Friday in regard to things. That is what we are looking at. So yeah, that's what we're looking at, you guys. Like I said, if you have any questions, feel free to throw them down in the chat here. I'm going to be here for you guys here for the rest of the stream here. Like I said, we live stream here from 8 to 9, so if you have any questions, now's the time to ask them, because like I said, we are monitoring a potential severe weather event to kick off here. I mean, really starting today, but it is going to get pretty bad here on Friday with the greatest threat covering the most amount of land here for Friday. So, like I said, you guys, we do have a slight risk in effect here for Friday. So this is our big threat. This is what we are looking at here right now. Now, there is no exact breakdown in regard to things here. In regard to the tornado side, the damaging wind potential, and the hail side of things, there is no breakdown yet. They don't do that for the day 3. They only do that for, basically the day of and the next day. But for the day after that, which we're looking at here for Friday, they do not have this. So that's what we're looking at here. Obviously we do have a pretty large threat here ahead of us here for tomorrow. For Friday here. So we're going to continue watching this here as far north as basically the western side, west central portion here of Minnesota here, and as far down south here as west central portion here of Texas. So this does cover a lot of ground. I mean, this covers at least 700 miles from north to south here. So this does cover a decent amount of ground here. Now, overall, the severe expected areas here does include bits of the Midwest here, going as far down here, basically where I'm circling right now. This is our severe threat here for Friday. This is where we need to keep our eyes here. We are going to watch this here in regard to things. We're going to continue watching this here. Sewing says, will tomorrow upgrade, in my opinion? I have to look at the models to be able to tell that, because I really haven't dived much into tomorrow's event. I've been keeping my eyes here on Friday, so I'll tell you what, when you look at the models, remind me, and we'll take a look at that. That is what we are looking at here. Let's go and see. I'm guessing it's just a slight chance for tornadoes for me on Friday. We'll see about that, Grace. Wait, Grace says you're in Minnesota here. So, I believe that your tornado threat is going to be quite minimal, considering our area of low pressure is expected to kind of develop here across the region. We'll see. Like I said, I'll take a look at the models here in a second. We'll get to that here in a moment. Let's go and see. This is going to be a pretty big... let's go and see. Toby says it's going to be a pretty big storm. It does look like it will be. There's going to be a lot of instability in the atmosphere covering from the south to the north here, really covering a lot of ground, so we are going to watch this. Let's go and see. Laura says, would West Virginia get any storms this weekend? So, in regard to that, let's go and take a look here at the days for 4 through 8 here. So we actually do have another risk here for day 4. This does move a little bit to the east here. This does include bits of central portion here of Iowa, northwestern Missouri, yet again inside of a severe threat, and the central and eastern portion here of Kansas. Now for day 5, this is for Sunday. So there is no severe threats right now for Saturday, or for Saturday there is, this one right here across the Midwest, but for West Virginia particularly, no, you're not in any severe threat here as of now. So you are in the clear here for right now, but we'll continue monitoring this. I don't expect anything crazy to happen for you as of right now. So that's what we're looking at. That's our convective outlook. We took a little bit of time on that, but hopefully you guys got a good amount of information from that in terms of what you can expect here. So I tell you what, y'all, we're going to go ahead and switch here to the models in regard to things. Here is the thumbnail image. Obviously, I did take a look at the instability here. So we're going to take a look at the NAM model first. We're going to take a look here at the mixed layer instability. This is your overall instability and across the atmosphere from the lower portions to all the way up to aloft there. So like I said before, we're starting to get all of this warm air being advected north here from the Gulf of Mexico, starting to drive its way in here to the central portions of the United States. This is going to fuel some thunderstorm potential here across bits of Oklahoma and Texas here for today, as we do have a slight risk in effect here across Texas here for today, as we did look at in the beginning of the live stream. So that's where our severe threat does come in here. Now Matt's wondering about the cap here. It does look like it is going to become uncapped here as we start to progress here. Honestly, it does kind of look like we're going to switch here to the radar view here right now. We're going to take a look here across bits of Oklahoma, because there's obviously a lot of instability at play here right now across Oklahoma. But I'll tell you what, we're going to switch here to the Oklahoma City radar here, KTLX. We're going to take a look here at the current, the current view here across the area. We're going to see exactly what is going on. We're going to see exactly what this is showing. So, yeah, right now there is no thunderstorms that are popping off, but you can obviously see the boundary that is going on right here. You can kind of see that long streak here. This is your boundary that's currently going on. We have a few shower activity, it does kind of look like, but, it does look like that things are kind of mostly stationary. What's going on with this? Okay, so this is not a thunderstorm. This is not a storm or a rain shower at all. The reason I can tell that is because this is showing up all in blue in correlation coefficient. So I tell you, this is probably like windmills or something. Usually that's what it kind of looks like. So obviously it's stationary. It could be a flock of birds or something. Regardless, this is not a shower. Whenever people would think that this is a rain shower or a thunderstorm, no, this is not. This is some type of other object, non-meteorological. But this is showing something in regard to things. So, like I said, you guys, this is what we are looking at. There is nothing kicking off here as of now, but I do expect that to change here. We'll take a look at the timing in regard to the models here in 1 second. So, switching on back here to the NAM model. So, this is your mid-range model here this is an American model like I was saying before. So, this is what we're looking at. So we do track down here in time here, a little bit here to the future. We're going to take a look here for tomorrow, being on Thursday. I do believe someone wanted me to look out for Thursday if I could, if I'm not mistaken here. Whoever wanted me to look at Thursday, can you comment that back down again here? If you can tell me who that was again, because I honestly I forgot who that was. Sorry about that. But whoever it was, comment down back in the chat here, and I'll go over exactly what area here. Yeah, but that's basically what we are seeing here. Let's go see. Like I said, guys, if you have any questions, feel free to throw them down in the chat here. Jonathan says, well, I'm very worried for Friday. Well, Jonathan, obviously stay safe. We're going to be here for you. We're going to be live here on Friday, so if anything crazy does happen, we're going to be here to capture it, and we're going to be here to give you guys the latest information in regard to things. Brandy says, it was me here. Okay, let's go up here to Brandy. Going to look at some of your comments coming up here. Okay, move to the northeast here, or to the east-northeast. I do see that you said... Thank you. Okay, Brandy says Thursday in Missouri. Okay, here we go. So we're going to go ahead and pull up here Missouri. So, really it kind of looks like there's going to be kind of limited amount of instability here across Missouri here for Thursday, according to your NAM model. But let me go and double check here with the GFS model. Like I said, I really don't like to take a look at one model because that's kind of biased here. Now, honestly, yeah, this just shows kind of a limited amount of instability here in effect for Thursday. Your greatest threat is obviously probably going to be for Friday here, actually into Saturday. Kind of what we are looking at in terms of the Storm Prediction Center side of things. But in regard to that, there is going to be some instability in effect here for bits of Thursday, but mostly isolated across the southwestern side here of Missouri, kind of being our threat there. So that's to answer your question. There is a possibility. Brandy says St. Louis. Okay, so across St. Louis, no, you're probably not going to have any severe thunderstorms here for Thursday. However, we do track down here in time. There is going to be a bit of modest instability here in effect for Friday, in which honestly Friday is probably going to be more of of your biggest concern here. We'll even take a sounding across St. Louis. We're talking only 600 mixed layer cape, but honestly, that is enough to, do some damage. That is enough to allow for some severe thunderstorms to kick off here. And, honestly, wind shear is a little bit weak here in the sounding, but you know what? I do believe that it could fire off maybe some weak, short-lived thunderstorms being possible. But we'll continue watching out for this. We'll go ahead and see what happens with this. But I do believe that your greatest threat here will be on Friday, if you are going to get anything. But yeah, that is what we are looking at. That is what we are seeing here. Let's go ahead and see here. Matt says yes. That's a wind turbine farm. Good guess. Yeah, I figured it was. I've seen a lot of those echoes there on radar before. The ones that just stay stationary. Sometimes radar does pick up some non-meteorological objects there. But yeah, so that's basically what we are looking at. So I tell you what, you guys, we're gonna go ahead and switch here into Friday. Like I said, we're currently looking at this. There's a lot of instability here. Like I said, we're taking a look here really for anything over 500 that allows for severe weather. Any values that are over 500 is enough to allow theoretically for severe weather to kick off. I've seen it in a little bit lower, but let's just call it 500 to be safe here. Now across really anything above 1,000 is really a decent amount of instability that's there. Basically, just think of it, like I said before, I explained this in the fact of it's like an engine. Like I said, engines need fuel. This is basically the fuel that's in the atmosphere. How much you have inside of your gas tank. Higher the values here basically shows how much fuel you have. In regard to things, this is honestly showing we have way more than enough here across the eastern side of Nebraska. We do have about near 2,500 mixed layer cape here. 2,500. That is way more than enough here. Way more than enough. So overall instability is going to be here. Now, I'll tell you what. We're going to go and grab a sounding across the east central portion here of Nebraska. I don't expect you guys to know how to read these. They are pretty sketchy to read here. Now, in regard to things here, overall, we have a lot of instability at play here. Okay? We can obviously say that. There's a lot of instability here. You can really start to see elliptic condensation level kicking off here. Bit of a really high base thunderstorm. It kind of looks like is probably going to be the biggest concern, which some tornadoes could have a bit of a fluctuational problem with that. However, wind shear in regard to that is actually there. We have a lot of strong northerlies here at the surface, and as you go up aloft here into the mid-levels of the atmosphere, we do see these do transition into the northeasterly motion. So as you go up in the atmosphere, this obviously does change with elevation. So what this is basically showing us is that we do have some spin in the atmosphere across the east central portion here of Nebraska, which might allow for the possibility of maybe some tornadoes being possible. Maybe a few isolated tornadoes could be a concern here. I mean, we're seeing storm relative helicity being from around the surface to 3 kilometer, about 240, which is supportive of some tornadoes being possible. But like I said, that high base thunderstorm is kind of a concern because you need that base to be pretty low here. So we're going to wait till the observations into the short range models as well start to kind of pull in here, and we'll go and see what we're talking about here. But yeah, that is what we are looking at here. We are seeing our dew points here in the upper 50s, lower 60s, which that is supportive for severe weather, so that's not really a big concern here. And D-capes over 1,500, so extreme damaging winds will be a likely concern with this as well. Kind of what we are seeing here in regard to that. So we need to be on the lookout, you guys. Honestly, that's kind of what we are seeing here. We got to watch out for this. Like I said, the only thing I see holding back in the tornado spectrum is that how high the thunderstorm base is, or sorry, how low the thunderstorm base is. Obviously, the lower the better. The higher, it's not going to really cause any thunderstorms or any tornadoes really to kind of kick off here. But that's kind of what we are talking about, or any tornadoes to really kick off there. Not thunderstorms. Thunderstorms will still kick off regardless. They'll just be elevated thunderstorms in regard to things. But yeah, that is what we are looking at here. Let's go ahead and see here. What's up? Marcus says, "What's up? Hope you're doing good. Glad to see you there. Hope you guys are. Hope you're doing good, Marcus. Glad to see you here again." Brandy says, "Thank you. I don't have anywhere to go Friday." Well, obviously stay safe, Brandy, and you're very, very welcome here for you. Let's go and see. Sewing says, "I missed my comment for North Central Oklahoma here for tomorrow." Let's see here. I got to pull up this. So you want me to take a look here across North Central Oklahoma for tomorrow. Tomorrow being Thursday. So that's probably who said about Thursday. So, North, what did you say? North Central? Yeah, North Central Oklahoma here. So we're going to go and grab a sounding here. This will be for the evening portions here for tomorrow. Even though it says Friday, this is in Zulu time, which, universal time just always reaches midnight before local does here. So this is still in Thursday, just a later evening portion. Sun's likely down at this point here. So we're going to grab a sounding here roughly across. I mean, we're talking over 1,800 joules per kilogram of energy. That's a lot of instability to allow for thunderstorms. But here's the thing. there's a cap going on right there. You can kind of see that right there, that little area I circled. This is where your temperatures goes outside of the threshold for thunderstorms to develop in. So basically, this is showing that there is some positive energy, some negative buoyancy. So if you imagine something that's negatively buoyant here's a drink, honestly. So if something's buoyant, it's basically just, if it's neutrally buoyant, it's basically just sitting there in one place. If it's positively buoyant, it starts to float. If it's negatively buoyant, it starts to basically sink here. So we're seeing that basically there's a little bit of a sinking motion here across the lower portions of the atmosphere. Zen, thank you so much for subscribing. But there's a little bit of that sinking motion across the lower portions of the atmosphere, which is basically preventing thunderstorms from firing off here, which could be a concern for initiation. But if thunderstorms were able to fire off in this environment, there is a very strong, rotating, wind directional wind field here from the surface to the mid levels of the atmosphere here, which you can obviously see that by your little bit of a weird looking photograph here, that bit of a sickle shape that's going on there. That could actually maybe cause a few tornadoes being possible here. So a few isolated tornadoes could be possible for tomorrow, which is why we actually do have that threat there. So we're going to watch out that. We're going to continue watching this here. However, across the mid-levels, we actually do have a little bit of dry activity going on here, but hail, I do believe, is going to be mostly minimal across the region there. But we'll see. Honestly, I do expect there to be some, maybe some hail events being possible here as well. Storm prediction actually does have a hail risk out there, that 15% significant chance. Now, in regard to our downdraft potential here, basically all of our energy that's, like I said, all that energy, basically like your fuel tank. If you have energy in the downdraft, because like I said, warm air goes up from the surface into the cold environment. And once it cools down, once it reaches the upper levels, because you obviously know the higher you go up, the colder it is. Once all that warm air cools down, it starts to sink, because hot air rises, cold air sinks here. So all that cold air starts to head back down towards the surface here, and it smacks the surface. And basically, with all the energy that's in the atmosphere, it basically elevates that downwards movement. So essentially what that is causing is the fact that we could have some very strong downdrafts hitting the surface very, very hard here in regard to things. And honestly, what that means is that we actually could have some damaging wind potential here, because those downdrafts are the main component of giving you those damaging winds that you likely see during the thunderstorm hours. Okay, a lot of talking. I understand that. So now, guys, if you have any questions, throw them down in the chat here. I'm going to be here for you guys. Got you all covered here. So I tell you what, we're going to go ahead on break here. I usually go on break at 8:30, so we're going to be on break here until 8:50, and we're going to save the last 10 minutes for people who have questions. So if you guys are still here, go grab yourself a snack or something to drink here. We're going to be back here in about 10 minutes or so hang tight for that. And think of a question if you guys have any, and I'll be there to answer you guys. But anyways, guys, we're going to be back here in a few moments, so guys, hang tight here for a minute, and I'll catch you guys here in a moment.
The current time is 7:38 p.m. Central Daylight Time. Now for the official National Weather Service forecast for the Lincoln area. Tonight, mostly clear. Lows around 40. Northeast winds 5 to 10 miles an hour, becoming southeast after midnight. Thursday, mostly sunny. Highs in the mid-70s. East winds 10 to 15 miles an hour. Gusts up to 25 miles an hour in the afternoon. Thursday night, not as cool. Showers likely and a chance of thunderstorms. Lows in the upper 50s. Southeast winds around 15 miles an hour with gusts up to 25 miles an hour. Chance of rain 60%. Friday, breezy, hot. Mostly sunny with a slight chance of showers and thunderstorms. Highs in the mid-80s. South winds 15 to 25 miles an hour. Gusts up to 40 miles an hour in the afternoon. Chance of rain 20%. Friday night, breezy. Partly cloudy with a slight chance of showers and thunderstorms until midnight, then mostly cloudy with a chance of showers and thunderstorms after midnight. Lows in the mid-60s. South winds around 25 miles an hour with gusts up to 45 miles an hour. Chance of rain 40%. Saturday, windy. Mostly sunny with a chance of showers and a slight chance of thunderstorms. Highs in the upper 70s. Chance of rain 40%. Saturday night, much cooler. Mostly clear. Lows in the lower 40s. Sunday, cooler. Mostly sunny. Highs in the lower 60s. Sunday night through Monday night, mostly clear. Lows in the mid-30s. Highs in the lower 60s. Tuesday, sunny. Highs in the upper 60s. Tuesday night, partly cloudy. Lows in the lower 40s. Wednesday, mostly sunny. A slight chance of showers in the morning. Highs around 70. Chance of rain 20%. The Lincoln, Nebraska climate summary for this evening, as of 4 p.m., April 20th, 2022. Today's high temperature was 60 degrees. This high was 6 degrees below the normal high of 66. The record high is 95 degrees, which was set in 1902. Today's low temperature was 52 degrees. This low was 11 degrees above the normal low of 41. The record low is 20 degrees, which was set in 2013. 0.04 inches of precipitation fell today, which brings the monthly total to 0.41 inches. This is 1.13 inches below the normal amount of 1.54 inches for April. The total precipitation for the year now stands at 2.68 inches, which is 2.03 inches below normal. No snow fell today, which brings the monthly total to a trace. This is 0.9 inches below the normal amount of 0.9 inches for April. The total snowfall since July 1st still stands at 5.1 inches, which is 20.5 inches below normal. There were 9 heating degree days today, which is 3 below normal. This brings the monthly total to 377, which is 79 above normal. The yearly total since July 1st is 5,151, which is 447 below normal. There were no cooling degree days today, which is normal. This leaves the monthly total at 4, which is 4 above normal. The yearly total since January 1st is 4, which is 2 above normal. Today the maximum wind observed was 24 miles an hour from the south. The highest wind gust observed was 34 miles per hour from the southeast. The normal high temperature for tomorrow is 66 degrees, and the normal low is 41. The record high for tomorrow is 92, which occurred in 1989, and the record low is 24, which occurred in 1978. Sunset tonight is at 8:12 p.m. Sunrise tomorrow is at 6:39 a.m. At 7 p.m. in Lincoln, it was sunny. The temperature was 63 degrees, the dew point 52, and the relative humidity 67%. The wind was east at 6 miles an hour. The pressure was 29.75 inches and rising. Across eastern Nebraska, it was sunny, with a temperature of 63 at Beatrice, 56 at Plattsmouth, and 70 at Grand Island. Under sunny skies, Columbus reported 67, Norfolk reported 64, and Fremont reported 61. At Omaha, it was mostly sunny, with a temperature of 56. At Nebraska City, it was partly sunny, with a temperature of 55. Here are some observations from across the region. At Des Moines, fog was reported, with a temperature of 47. It was sunny, with a temperature of 73 at Concordia, Kansas, 70 at Northland, and 61 at Cheyenne. At Denver, it was mostly sunny, with a temperature of 69. It was partly sunny, with a temperature of 59 at Sioux Falls, and 68 at Valentine. At Kansas City, drizzle and fog were reported, with a temperature of 59. Once again, at 7 p.m. in Lincoln it was 63 degrees under sunny skies. This hazardous weather outlook is proportions of southwest Iowa, west central Iowa, east central Nebraska, northeast Nebraska, and southeast Nebraska. For tonight and Thursday, very high fire danger will be present across portions of eastern Nebraska Thursday afternoon. And now the extended outlook for the period Thursday night through Wednesday. Very high fire danger will continue across mainly eastern Nebraska Friday. Scattered thunderstorms should return to the region Thursday night. A couple of these storms may produce large hail in southeast Nebraska. Additional severe thunderstorm activity is possible Friday afternoon into Friday night, mainly in northeast Nebraska, and then again Saturday afternoon as a frontal boundary moves into the region. Strong southerly winds are expected Friday afternoon into Saturday. The potential exists for peak wind gusts in the 40 to 60 miles per hour range. These winds will make for difficult travel conditions for high-profile vehicles, especially along Interstate 80. Tree damage or isolated power outages may also occur. Spotter information statement: spotter activation will not be needed through Thursday. This is NOAA All Hazards Radio Station WXM20 in Lincoln, Nebraska. The current time is 7:45 p.m. Central Daylight Time. Now for the official National Weather Service forecast for the Lincoln area. Tonight, mostly clear. Lows around 40. Northeast winds 5 to 10 miles an hour, becoming southeast after midnight. Thursday, mostly sunny. Highs in the mid-70s. East winds 10 to 15 miles an hour. Gusts up to 25 miles an hour in the afternoon. Thursday night, not as cool. Showers likely and a chance of thunderstorms. Lows in the upper 50s. Southeast winds around 15 miles an hour with gusts up to 25 miles an hour. Chance of rain 60%. Friday, breezy, hot. Mostly sunny with a slight chance of showers and thunderstorms. Highs in the mid-80s. South winds 15 to 25 miles an hour. Gusts up to 40 miles an hour in the afternoon. Chance of rain 20%. Friday night, breezy. Partly cloudy with a slight chance of showers and thunderstorms until midnight, then mostly cloudy with a chance of showers and thunderstorms after midnight. Lows in the mid-60s. South winds around 25 miles an hour with gusts up to 45 miles an hour. Chance of rain 40%. Saturday, windy. Mostly sunny with a chance of showers and a slight chance of thunderstorms. Highs in the upper 70s. Chance of rain 40%. Saturday night, much cooler. Mostly clear. Lows in the lower 40s. Sunday, cooler. Mostly sunny. Highs in the lower 60s. Sunday night through Monday night, mostly clear. Lows in the mid-30s. Highs in the lower 60s. Tuesday, sunny. Highs in the upper 60s. Tuesday night, partly cloudy. Lows in the lower 40s. Wednesday, mostly sunny. A slight chance of showers in the morning. Highs around 70. Chance of rain 20%. At 7 p.m. in Lincoln, it was sunny. The temperature was 63 degrees, the dew point 52, and the relative humidity 67%. The wind was east at 6 miles an hour. The pressure was 29.75 inches and rising. Across eastern Nebraska, it was sunny, with a temperature of 63 at Beatrice, 56 at Plattsmouth, and 70 at Grand Island. Under sunny skies, Columbus reported 67, Norfolk reported 64, and Fremont reported 61. At Omaha, it was mostly sunny, with a temperature of 56. At Nebraska City, it was partly sunny, with a temperature of 55. Here are some observations from across the region. At Des Moines, fog was reported, with a temperature of 47. It was sunny, with a temperature of 73 at Concordia, Kansas, 70 at Northland, and 61 at Cheyenne. At Denver, it was mostly sunny, with a temperature of 69. It was partly sunny, with a temperature of 59 at Sioux Falls, and 68 at Valentine. At Kansas City, drizzle and fog were reported, with a temperature of 59. Once again, at 7 p.m. in Lincoln, it was 63 degrees under sunny.
Alrighty, guys, we are back here. Hope you guys are doing all right. If you guys are just now joining us, obviously welcome. Hope you guys are having a wonderful, wonderful night so far. So, we're going to go ahead and get right back onto it. So if you guys have any questions, now is the time to throw them down here in the chat. Because we're getting ready to wind up here the live stream here in about 10 minutes. So we're gonna go ahead and switch on back here to the main screen, guys. Like I said, I hope you guys are doing all right. Glad to see you guys here. Today. So something I remember talking about here in the beginning of the live stream. Here's our active warnings. Okay, we're gonna talk about these here right now because this is actually something that I forgot to mention here. But yeah, that's what we are looking at. We do have a lot of active warnings that is in effect here at the moment. We do have a lot of specific things. So we're going to go ahead and start off here across the southeast. We do have a lot of, you can kind of see these patchy light green areas here, basically just showing that some, flash flood warnings are in effect here across the areas here in green, mostly across those, rivers and stuff like that. Basically just showing you that, hey, we honestly could see some flooding. Flooding is imminent or ongoing here at the moment across the dark green here, the light green here. So this is something we got to watch out for flooding. Now, in regard to these kind of, in regard to these tan shaded colors, basically these are wind advisories. Basically showing you that gusty winds are expected to occur across those regions there. This is what we are looking at here at the moment. These, my friends, are all wind advisories here in effect. Basically showing that gusty winds is expected. To happen here. Across the region, like I said, it really just matters on which county you're in here for each wind advisory, but it does show that gusty winds is expected to occur here. And, of course, we do have a lot of other active warnings here in effect as well. So across bits of the northeastern side here of Minnesota, we might notice that there's actually two different colors. There's a light there's one area here of pink, and there is a lot of areas here kind of this purplish, kind of plum shaded color. Now, kind of the purple color, this is basically showing us that, hey, this is a winter weather advisory, showing you that some impacts of winter weather is expected to occur. Now, just east of that, we do have our winter storm warning. We have another winter storm warning here in effect, I believe, across the eastern side here of those upper elevations of bits of California here. So that is what we are seeing here. That is what we are seeing here in regard to things. So we are seeing some, winter storm warnings there. Basically showing you that essentially we are expecting some heavy impacts of winter weather to occur. And we do have some winter storm watches that are in effect here across Pacific Eastern Montana, northeastern side here of Wyoming, into the western Dakotas here. Kind of what we are expecting in regard to things. So that is what we are looking at. And of course, we do have a lot of, kind of this hot pink shade color going on here across bits of the southwest into the central United States. These are all red flag warnings, due to, some gusty winds as well as low relative humidity. We are expecting wildfire conditions to be possible across these regions here. Like I said, this does include Nebraska, bits of northeastern Colorado, a small sliver of southeastern Wyoming, basically the central and southern portion here of New Mexico, and to the western side here of Texas. This is what we are talking about. So, let's go ahead and see your weather on the go says, when am I doing my hurricane forecast? We're probably going to be doing that here relatively soon. I'll tell you what, we're probably going to do it here at the end of this month. So stay tuned for that. We're probably going to upload it on the 1st of May. That's the plan. That's the plan as of now. We're going to see about that. Let's go ahead and see. Your danger says, uh-oh, Reed is near me. Well, that's always a good sign to know if Reed Timmer is near you. Weather on the Go says, I don't see the enhanced risk for this event unless it becomes more clear that the cap will let up in coming model runs. So honestly, yeah, the cap does seem to be kind of a problem, as well as our high base thunderstorms here. Basically with the high base, for tornadoes, that could be a limiting factor there. So, honestly, it's... Regardless, widespread severe weather is possible or expected across a lot of these areas here, and this is something we have got to watch out for. This is something that we should definitely continue to watch out for over the next little bit. But conditionally, yes, there is a lot of threat here for severe weather. But it does matter if the cells can't pop off, then because of that cap, then is really kind of useless there. But that is what we are talking about here at the moment. Thomas says, see any tornadoes tonight? Thomas, I have not. Stefan says, hello, sir. Good evening. You too, Stefan. Glad to see you here. Hope you're doing good. Glad to see you here again. Let's go ahead and see. Michael says, remember me? I do remember you, Michael. You say that every single live stream, but yeah, I do remember you. Matt says, Andrew, break the cap for me. There you go. Cap broken. Okay, you're going to get some storms firing off now. There you go. It's just like that. It's as easy as me snapping my fingers is how you get the cap in the atmosphere to start breaking. And if you look here at the radar view, go ahead and switch back here to our mouse mouse view here. If you look back at the radar view, we actually do have a bit of shower action kind of going on here. But like I said, there's some wind turbine action going on here as well. Kind of what we are talking about. Let's go ahead and see. David says, what does Kansas and Nebraska look like? You mean in regard to tonight, a specific day here? Let's go ahead and see here. We'll take a look at that here in 1 second. We'll actually change back here to the Storm Prediction Center. In regard to today's outlook, you want to know about Kansas and Nebraska here. I do believe that Nebraska is going to get hit pretty hard on Friday. Friday, you know, for bits of central and eastern Nebraska, you've really got to be on the lookout here for Friday. In regard to Kansas, we do have a small threat here for today across the southeastern side of Kansas. We're going to clear the board here so there's no dots over the place. Now for tomorrow's going to be a pretty big Kansas impactor with big tornadoes. You know, big tornadoes not really being a big, major concern here, but we are expecting the possibility of some isolated tornadoes being possible within the region there. That is what we are looking at. Let's go ahead and see here. Get some other comments coming in here at the moment. Glad to see it. Definitely glad to see it here. Stormy says, if I'm reading things right, northeastern Arkansas shouldn't see anything severe. Maybe strong winds and a chance for hail, of course, flash flooding. So in regard to you, I know kind of a general vicinity of where you're at here. Honestly, right here, you have a chance for severe weather today. It depends on which side you are on. But for northern and northwestern side here of Arkansas, there's a low-end chance for severe weather, but that does not include tornadoes. Mostly just damaging winds and hail being your concern here for today. Now, in regard to tomorrow, tomorrow there's no threat. And in regard to Friday, no, there is no threat either. Okay, we got to continue watching that. Let's go ahead and see. Let's see the other questions we got going on here. Weather on the Go says, also, when am I going to get the summer outlook out there? I'm going to wait till the end of spring to do that. There goes my camera, cut out for the first time here. But honestly, like I said, I'm going to wait till the end of spring to start on our summer outlook. Obviously, I'd like to wait for, those long-range models to really kind of kick in here. But I will be working on that hurricane forecast here actually pretty soon. That is actually a good point. I should probably get on that, considering that, hurricane season starts here within the next few months. I believe it's June or July. It's either one of the J months. I always get it mixed up. But June or July is whenever the hurricane season does start. And, conditionally, the models, I'm going to give you guys a little hint here. The models are, from the last time I looked, I need to double check it before I make my video. The long-range climatology models are showing us moving towards out of a La Nina, which La Nina, if you do not know, is very, very heavily influenced on the Atlantic. With a La Nina is more active storm season, and we're kind of clocking towards normal conditions, so we could just see a normal just a normal, just a normal looking hurricane season, kind of what we are seeing here. But we're going to continue watching this. Like I said, I'm going to take a look at the models, do everything updated. I'm going to look at, obviously, a lot of other things like North Atlantic Oscillation and a whole bunch of cool stuff, and we're going to start diving into that here relatively soon. So yeah, stay on the lookout for that. Stay on the lookout because we are going to talk about it. Let's go ahead and see here. What's up with North Panhandle, Texas? So, right now, let's go change here back to our day one outlook here. Nothing for today. Now, for tomorrow, though, there's a small marginal risk here on the eastern side of the Panhandle. Nothing too crazy. Then for Friday here, Friday is a big concern here for the Panhandle. Yep, Friday, you got to be on the lookout here. In regard to things, like I said, they don't break it down, but this is a chance for severe weather. I do expect damaging winds, hail, being a concern here. I do believe that the greatest tornado threat is going to be up across these regions here, roughly. Mostly across bits of Nebraska, kind of being the major concern here. But yeah, that is what we are looking like. This is what we are seeing. So that's what we're talking about, you guys. Let's go ahead and see here. Okay, first, La Nina. Oh, wow. La Nina in 22 years, that's pretty crazy. The three repeated ones. We've had a La Nina, I believe, since 2019, if I'm not mistaken. 2020 was very bad, the worst hurricane season, or the most named storms on record. Not for intensity, but it is the most, the record breaker for the most named storms in the Atlantic that formed. It was in 2020, crazy year regardless. But yeah, 2020 did have that for its advantage there. Now, yeah, but like I said, intensity-wise, no. 2005 still takes it, but 2005 was the previous record. And 2021 was still a very active hurricane season in regard to things. And but yeah, that's what we're looking at. But, yeah, that's what we were talking about. Like I said, what it's pointing to now is kind of a normal state. So, obviously I can't just tell you that right now. I haven't looked at the models here in, honestly, probably about a month. The climate models, they go out pretty far, and I'm sure there's a lot of changes from the last time I've seen it. So I got to look at that here. I'm going to look at that before I start. I'm going to start probably getting prepped for this video within the next few days. So be on the lookout for that. We're going to have our hurricane outlook here pretty soon for you guys. So like I said, I'm probably going to do it on the 1st of May. So keep a lookout on for that. Let's go ahead and see here. Stefan says, forecast is going to be sunny unless it gets cloudy and starts to rain. Just like, a good way to forecast incoming snow events, I've seen this many times, it's pretty funny, is basically, if they're calling for snow, just expect anywhere from 0 to 100 inches, and you'll be set there. Regardless, what actually happens should fall into that category, but, honestly, there has been some events that's gone over 100 inches in a single storm. It's crazy, but it's actually happened, but it's mostly for those extreme upper elevations that's seen that before, but yeah. Definitely possible. Let's go ahead and see here. Weather Go says models are trending towards normal, but La Nina looks greater than 50% next year. If we go in statistically, here pretty soon we should be shifting here towards an El Nino. Statistically, anyways. Now statistics have been known to change patterns, and obviously that is Mother Nature for you. Now they usually do change. I believe. Between every 2 and 7 years is how often the Enso oscillation changes, if I'm not mistaken. Somewhere around that. Let's go see here. Devin says new day one outlook. They've downgraded to a margin risk for severe weather. Probably because of that cap. Let's go and talk back here. I'm going to double check on that. Yeah, you're right. They did just downgrade that. Thanks for telling us, Devin. Yeah, Devin's always my go-to man for telling me updates here, which is really good. I need a man like Devin. That is the smallest 2% tornado threat I think I've ever seen. It's ridiculous. Do you guys see how small this 2% tornado threat is? It includes Broken Arrow, Oklahoma here, Muskogee here, Oklahoma. Selpalpa. I'm really bad with names here. Bixby as well, and I couldn't even begin to tell you how you pronounce that. Hail, still 5. Hail and damaging winds are still the same here. That's a really small tornado threat. That is a really, really, really small tornado threat there. But let's go and see here. But yeah, that's what we're talking about. Okay, thank you. Very, very welcome. Glad to be here for you guys. James Noodle or Matt says, is it just me or is the front on radar retreating northwest? Let's see here. We're gonna switch back to GR2 for a second here. You can obviously see the boundary right there. We have some northerly going on here. That's obviously expected. All that warm air is driving its way north here. Here it's southeast. It's really all over the place. I think this actually might be just flocks of birds, maybe, moving in different directions. That would be my guess. Yeah, atmospherically, I don't think that's the way that the wind's flowing right now. I think we mostly have northerlies. That's what we're talking about. Anyways, guys, I think I'm going to go ahead and head it off here for tonight. Like I said, we usually do our live streams here between 8 and 9. Glad to see you guys here. If you are new to the channel, guys, do me a favor, consider hitting that subscribe button. We greatly appreciate it. If you guys do want to support the channel and you do love what we do have our donation link in the description as well as pinned in the chat. It's active at any time if you guys do want to help us out, help support the channel. But anyways, guys, thank you all so much for being here. Glad to have you guys here. I'm glad to see a lot of you guys here once again for tonight. Hope to see you guys here for tomorrow. We are going to have a video out for tomorrow as well as our live stream. Doing live streams every single night here. Was not able to yesterday, but I did get a video out, which is good. So regardless, there's going to be some form of update on the channel here for tomorrow. I do expect to do both each day, but sometimes that is what we are talking about. But yeah, that's what we are talking about. Stefan says it's barely a neighborhoods with 2%. Your luck would be terrible to get hit by one in that risk. That is pretty crazy. Devin says good night. See you later, Devin. Thank you for joining. Hope you're doing good, man. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your night. That goes to all of you guys out there. Thank you all so much for being here. You guys absolutely rock. So, like I said, we're going to work on that hurricane video here soon. Like I said, it'll be up on the 1st. That's the plan. That's the plan as of right now. Up on the 1st. We're going to watch this. OKT says, so the event is over. The live stream's over. The event's not. So the marginal risk in effect here for today. Lowest and severe threat, but it is still something we should watch out for. Anyways, guys, thank you all so much for joining us today, and I hope to see you guys here for tomorrow. If you have any future questions, if you guys do want to contact us, we do have all of our social media in the description. You guys can check that out. Anyways, guys, thank you all so much for being here. You guys absolutely rock. Thank you all so much. Hope to see you guys here for tomorrow. Take care, you guys. See you guys later.
Spotter information statement. Spotter activation will not be needed through Thursday. This is NOAA All Hazards radio station WXM20 in Lincoln, Nebraska. The current time is